This is the W62's terminus of Newcastle, Dublin. This is a route that has been split into two. Originally, under Bus Connects Dublin, it was meant to be the W6, connecting Western Dublin and Kildare. However, instead of it being the W6, the routes are temporarily split into two, the W62 and the W61. And today, we are driving this length that is unserviced by the two bus routes currently until the works that need to happen to make these two routes into one take place. And what is the reason for these routes being split up? Well, it's quite typical, we can say that. Much like with Dublin's tram system, for 15 years the two lines remained disconnected, even though there were plans from the get-go to have them connected. The red line and the green line for 15 years had a 15-minute walk. But this walk here between the terminus of the W61 and the W62 is, well, a bit less forgiving than that walk along Dublin city centre that used to be between Stephen's Green and Abbey Street. Unless, of course, people prefer to walk that still. So, as you can see here, we are heading towards Selbridge, where the W61 terminates. Now, all these roads can be served by bus routes, but the main culprit is a bridge further up. Once we reach that bridge, I shall inform you as to exactly why these two routes were split up, and when we can expect these routes to be combined together. We are now approaching the main culprit for the splitting of the W6 into two routes. Right up ahead of this road is a bridge, but this is a very narrow bridge, too narrow for two buses to pass by each other at the same time. Now, of course, one would think that with an only half-hour frequency, the two buses could just be timed in such a way that they don't intersect at the bridge, but of course, delays might make that slightly more difficult. So instead, the two routes were split up. Now, as you can see here, there are no footpaths, so this route is not walkable, realistically, although most people probably wouldn't walk this. You're going to see here that this bridge is actually a big cause of bottlenecks and delays. As you can see here, there's lots of parked cars. And when you're going to see the bridge, it is actually quite narrow. So what is happening now is they're expanding this bridge so that they can then have two buses running consecutively if needed, simultaneously on two sides of the road, so that way it can facilitate bi-directional bus traffic, and hence it will be safe and there won't be any issues if two buses pass by at the same time. Now, one would think, considering Bus Connect was planned back in 2018, and these routes were only launched, this W6 thing was only launched in 2023, if I'm not mistaken, that in this 5 years, these works would have been done preemptively. Clearly not. So, instead, this is kind of what happens, much like with the Lewis. Second time is a charm, I guess. So now you're going to see exactly how this bridge looks, and it'll become quite apparent, really, the narrowness of this bridge. And that is really it. So you're going to see now the terminus of the W61 at Hazelhatch, and that will kind of just give you an idea of these two bus routes in Dublin now split up.
11.00 kilometers. Work count total of 31 minutes, 16 seconds. Heart rate 59.